but it's been great. And, one of the nice things of being involved with something regional is you really can, make a difference. So I started a few years ago with their executive director, Patty, and we wanted to do something new and different. We started a Women in Benefits series. And so definitely it's been a passion of mine to just make those programs really accessible to everyone in the benefit space. But I think sometimes our younger folks, or maybe I shouldn't say younger, maybe our mid-career folks that make a transition, it doesn't necessarily matter what age they are, but sometimes walking into a large exhibit hall can feel overwhelming. So giving them kind of an entry point with a smaller, more intimate crowd. And, we've been able to really talk about important issues. And NEEBC's vision and mission of education is across really all parts of benefits. And it's just been a really welcome opportunity. And I think...
Welcome to the RockstarsRocking podcast, powered by Voluntary Disruption, a show dedicated to people who are crushing their business and life goals. These are bite-sized conversations with leading rock stars in their respective industry who are pumped to share their story to help drive you to the next level. So, are you ready to rock? Speaking of rock stars, here's your host, Eric Silverman.
Hey, social friends, welcome back to another episode of RockstarsRocking. If you're not sure, that is hashtag, of course, for RockstarsRocking. And I'm with a rock star this week. Everybody help me welcome Teri Weber, Senior Vice President at Spring Consulting Group out of Boston, and she is in Connecticut as we speak. Welcome, Teri.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thank you for joining us today. So Teri, you, my friend, are one of five Broker of the Year finalists for BenefitsPRO Magazine's annual Broker of the Year nomination selection and eventual winning of Broker of the Year. So kudos to you. A little golf clap going. Congratulations. I'm so excited to have you on. I want to talk about that, if you don't mind. I want to start with that. So tell me, what are some really awesome things that you're doing at Spring Consulting Group, you and your team, which is also an Alera group company, that made you BenefitsPRO finalist of the year, Benefit Broker of the Year eligible? I mean, my goodness, there's only five, Teri, in the whole country. That is quite the prestigious honor. So again, I'm sure you're excited, and I want to talk about that today.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I certainly don't know exactly what I did to deserve the honor, but very thankful and happy to be in such good company with the other four finalists. We've been doing it Spring, which I assume is part of why we're being recognized. And certainly, although my name's on it, I don't pretend to be taking all the credit. But our goal is really helping employers try to marry, their strategy in benefits with offering, the best programs that they can for their employees. And although I work in all areas of health and welfare, I've really been spending a lot of my time over the last 18 to 20 months on absence management with across really all industries. Although I will say a lot of my clients are in the healthcare space, because that can be a really complicated industry for absence management. So, I think the programs there are hopefully really strengthening the compliance of my clients and helping them really marry the corporate culture that they have. We all know every company is different, marrying that corporate culture with the costs that they're able to outlay to help their employees. Sure. So I'm hoping we can get some kind of sound bites with like the roar of the crowd.
Maybe we can we can ask my guy to put that in there. So let's dive in though. Talk about that for a second with respect to absence management and productivity and so forth. Explain to folks what that specifically means for those that could be listening that aren't aware, because we have a lot of folks that are going to listen that are part of our industry, and there's going to be a lot of folks that aren't. So what does that really mean?
Yeah, so thanks for the question, because I do think sometimes in the insurance industry, and sorry if folks can hear a little bit of background noise here, but I think sometimes in our industry we use a ton of acronyms and folks sometimes get lost and their eyes get glazed over. So I appreciate the ability to give a little more context.
Sure.
Employees need time off. Probably now we can appreciate it more than ever with all going on with COVID. They might have commitments to their family. They might be ill themselves. And so absence management is really managing that end-to-end time away. And what makes it complicated is all the things that wrap around it. So to an employee, they just think, I need time off because I'm sick. I need time off because my child's sick. I need time off because daycares are closed. I need time off because I've been exposed, or I might have been exposed, and I need to self-isolate.
Right.
But to all of us in the insurance world, we start putting all our acronyms on it. You know, is it an STD claim, short-term disability claim? Is it Family Medical Leave Act, which is a regulation on the federal side that we all need to comply with? So absence management really tries to marry together all the employer requirements that they have to offer, they have to be compliant with, and try to make the process easier, more streamlined for employees, but also think about the cost and thinking about making it as easy as possible. So when I work with clients, I often kind of talk about the 3 C's, like cost, compliance, and culture, you know, because we're all balancing those pieces. It obviously has to be compliant, but from there, you know, there's a whole pendulum of folks that have the means to provide their employees with disability coverage and maybe paid parental or paid family leave, and others that really don't. So the goal is really to make that process. And to any folks out there that work for an employer or with clients that are across multiple states, it gets even more confusing and complicated because every state could have some requirements around time off that they need to manage. And even some localities have it too.
Sure. So do you find that this is something that it can be put into use with a small or mid-sized group, or is it typically relegated to a larger or mega company?
Yeah, I think all companies are challenged by it for sure. You know, FMLA as an example is 50, generally speaking, 50 employees and up really need to worry about FMLA. But some jurisdictions at the state level or local level are even smaller. So I definitely feel it's a pain point for employees of all size. The big discussion point, I think, out of the gate, though, is to talk with them about how often they're having people go out, because obviously you don't want to over-engineer something. If they only have 10 people going out a year, you don't want to spend time and effort and energy planning too much around a process for, 10 incidences, for example. But
Sure.
Any organization over 100, over 500 should definitely put this on their list of things to examine. Even if they decide it doesn't require too much research, they should at least put it on their list to think through.
Well, it's definitely above and beyond just telling somebody they have some sick time or vacation time. That's exactly what it is, for sure. So when it comes to the industry, the benefits industry and so forth, how long have you been in the industry?
So I've probably been in the industry. You get to a certain age where you don't like telling how many years it's been, but it's probably been about 20 years. I've been in the insurance industry. I actually started my career doing data analytics before data analytics were a thing. We worked for only really jumbo employers who had, multiple HMOs and multiple health plans and wanted to get the data all together. So it's a really great entry into I would call it insurance business, although at that time it was really service that I was providing more than insurance. But it was a great entree into kind of my next phase of life, which has been kind of on the broker and consultant side from there.
That's awesome. Now, I know you're passionate about about NEEBC, NEEBC, the New England Employee Benefits Council. Can you talk about what that is and what it means to you?
Yeah, sure. So it's funny, I'm a mom of 2 daughters, 12 and 14. And so as with all parents of, teens or younger children, you're kind of in the trenches with them, might not have as much free time as you'd like. But one organization that I've been able to kind of marry, personal and professional kind of commitments with is NEEBC. So the New England Employee Benefit Council is based in Massachusetts, and they put on, really their mission is educational work for benefits professionals, both employers as well as brokers and consultants like myself. So it was something I did very early on in my career. They were some of the first conferences and meetings I went to, some of the first networking events that I attended. And so I really have a passion for it. I'm now lucky enough to sit on their board. I think I only have a year or 2 left of my term there, but it's been great. And, one of the nice things of being involved with something regional is you really can, make a difference. So I started a few years ago with their executive director, Patty, and we wanted to do something new and different. We started a Women in Benefits series. And so definitely it's been a passion of mine to just make those programs really accessible to everyone in the benefit space. But I think sometimes our younger folks, or maybe I shouldn't say younger, maybe our mid-career folks that make a transition, it doesn't necessarily matter what age they are, but sometimes walking into a large exhibit hall can feel overwhelming. So giving them kind of an entry point with a smaller, more intimate crowd. And, we've been able to really talk about important issues. And, NEEBC's vision and mission of education is across really all parts of benefits. And it's just been a really welcome opportunity. And I think too, one of the things I love about it is there's not a lot of competition. There's certainly people there that I compete with in terms of other brokers and consultants, but it's just a very collegial environment. We're all learning from each other all the time. And so I really feel like it's a place that I've been mentored and am a mentor of others. So it's really been great for me. And I hope others.
Yeah, no, that's super awesome. I love hearing that. And I love the aspect of including the personal and the family and what it means to you, as well as how it helps others. So kudos to you. That's really cool. Teri, how can somebody who's watching this, who wants to maybe pick your brain a little bit, ask you some questions, see if they can grow their practice or learn more, how can they reach out to you if you're open to that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I'm on social media, although probably not as much as others, but they can certainly find me on LinkedIn. Feel free. Okay. And they can also go to the Spring Consulting Group website, and I'm there. My contact information, my email is teri.weber@springgroup.com. And my name is as short as possible. So Teri with one R and Weber with one B.
Okay, perfect. And it's Teri with an I.
Yes. Thank
awesome.
you.
And what's your website?
Sure. It's springgroup.com.
Springgroup.com.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Well, listen, Teri, I appreciate you listening. For anybody or coming on today, for anybody who is listening or watching, if you have any questions or comments or thoughts and you'd like to ask Teri or myself, please don't be shy. We love it. Please feel free to respond in the comment section below. If you have a question or a comment or a thought, I'm sure the box of some sort, depending on what platform you're watching us on, will be somewhere around our heads, no doubt. And ultimately, if you like what you heard today, please share. Sharing is caring, right? So share with other colleagues and so forth, and let's get the word out. And like I said, congratulations, Teri, on top 5 Broker of the Year finalists for BenefitsPRO magazine. Paul Wilson, editor-in-chief, good friend of mine, made an excellent choice here, so I'm excited for you. And good luck to you on winning. Hopefully, when you win, see the subliminal right there. When you win, I didn't say that to the other guys, I'm sure. But when you win, let's have you back and we can talk about that at some point in the future.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks to everybody for listening.
Awesome. And you know what, as I always say, I don't ever, Teri, I don't want people to have a great day. It's too generic. I want people to make it a great day. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Rockstars Rocking podcast. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you consume podcasts. And if you feel so inclined, please leave us a review. 5 stars would totally rock. Until next time, Rockstars, keep rocking.